Man, how crazy is this?
I know.
All right, let's go. Hold on.
WPPM LP, Philadelphia.
I haven't had these three mics up in a long time. What's better than one co-host, G?
Two, three.
No doubt. Shout out to Terry Tobin if you're watching, Mama. Arizona, I got you.
It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM
This time
FM 106.5 Philadelphia.
That's day.
I'm your host,
Career
the world's
day,
#1 diversity recruiter,
So,
Callan
I'm with
L.
you. I
Johnson.
got you.
And I've been waiting a long time to bring you the Career Seekers team. Tiffany Sutherland, career coach. Alberta Bertolino, recruitment coach. Videographer Will Martin. And together, we are your #1 source for career and job search information. We'll be back after the break.
The Career Seeker Show
Mike's
on
on.
WPP.
Thanks for joining me.
It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5. What's good, Philly? What's good, Facebook followers? What's good, live streamers? As you can see, if you're watching on Facebook, this is the day that you want to be listening to the show. We have a great guest on the second half, but more importantly, right now, we got Alberta Bertolino in the building, Will Martin in the building, and yes,
The return.
Tiffany Sutherland is in the building.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy to be back. Happy to be back. Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We are
It's a pleasure.
so happy to see you.
So-
So happy to be here.
So we went and rescued Tiffany
Yes, thank goodness.
from the corporate sea,
Yes.
and she's back and on the show. We missed you, ma.
I missed being here. Like this is the energy in the room. As soon as I walked into the building, seeing all of your lovely faces, it's just where else would I rather be?
We love it. If you're watching and you're wondering why we're standing up because it is stand-up day. Actually, we're standing up for the dreamers out here. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out here in our country right now, but we riding with y'all, so we're going to stand up and do this show for all the dreamers. We're standing up. Will Martin, what's good?
What's good, good? What's good, team?
Everything's good, my man. Alberta Bertolino, how's it going?
It's great. Been a great week. Missed the show last week due to maintenance, but we're back. So glad. Lots going on. Lots of got a bunch of offers out this week.
Yeah.
Rolling and rolling. So it's got a couple big recruiting projects that I'm doing too, which I'm really happy about. So it's good.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Man, Alberta is really busy too.
Yeah, I got so much going on, but it's in a good way. In a good way.
Always.
So, how about you, Tiff?
I'm just happy to be able to kind of catch my breath. If anyone knows anything about the legal recruiting season, August is the peak of that season. But it's nice to meet a bunch of candidates. I actually have some before another episode. We interviewed over 50, close to 60 people in a week, and so the lessons that you learn when you meet that many people, it's pretty interesting. Some things that people do really, really well. Some things that just are like, wow. So, I'm happy to be here. A lot of perspective now. A lot of perspective.
Glad you're not still in that space.
Glad I'm not in that space.
You know, I'm really excited today. We have the incredible Toni Howard Lowe calling in. I wish she was in studio. She said that the next time she comes to Philly, she's going to hold us down, though. But she's coming on. Will and I guess it was 2 weeks ago, we spoke a lot about, she has this bucket list for millennials, or a bucket list that people should try to, I guess, accomplish before they're 40. There's just some great content that she's producing. I kind of noticed her through some of the content she's producing that comes out of Black Enterprise. Shout out to the people over there for continuing to give people an opportunity and a platform to be successful. So I wanted her to be on the show. So we had a couple conversations. I really enjoy her. She is a proclaimed hip hop and trap music fan.
okay.
She's from Dallas, so I give it I understand where she's coming from with that. So I'm looking forward to having her. I know we wanted to have some conversations today about a few different things. AB, I believe you have some information about job resources in South Jersey and South Philly,
Got
possibly.
a new one thanks to you too.
Excellent. I have some resources for North Philly, Northwest Philly, and also we wanted to speak today about who you believe. Well, who are your top 5 career and/or job search influencers on social media?
Right.
So, man, that was a mouthful to say,
That was
but
a
I think I
lot.
got it out. Do
Yeah.
people understand what I'm talking about? Who you checking for on Twitter and Facebook
Besides
and
this
Instagram?
team, obviously,
Obviously.
right?
Career Seekers,
Obviously.
yeah, at U.S. Career Seekers. Speaking of that, let's just shout it out. At U.S. Career Seekers, out Alberta Recruits, at TIFF South. You can check us all out. You can check out the show on the East Coast Executives Facebook fan page. We stream live at Philly Cam, and we're here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock on
forget your own
WPPM
handle.
106.5. I think, did I say at KL
KL
Johnson
Johnson
Info?
Info.
There you
No?
go. There you go.
Say
Check
it
for
again.
me at KL Johnson Info. Let's get it done. So it's the Career Seekers Show. We do it once again every Wednesday, 4 to 5 here on WPPM LP Philadelphia. So Tiff, I'm going through some emails earlier this week, and people were checking for you. They were like, "Is Tiff coming back?" You said in September she'd be back.
Here I am.
And so here was the thing that threw me off a little. I think they thought I was playing with them because they're like, "Well, where's she been?" I'm like, "Well, mind your business." But anyway.
Now, Kenneth
but-
tried to tell everybody that you were on the beach somewhere.
Oh, wouldn't
I
that
was-
been nice? I know.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
yeah.
been
Tiff was
nice?
on the beach.
Listen, working from a remote location.
I have a question. I don't think you were here. Were you invited to Alberta's birthday party?
Oh no.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
That's what happens when I'm not here. Y'all have
No,
birthday
we weren't
parties.
invited. Will and I weren't
Oh.
invited either. Yeah. I hear about 50 to 60 people got together in South
don't
Philly.
even try. Don't
Yeah,
even
so,
try it. No.
but it's all right. It's all right.
There'll be another birthday. We'll be on that list. I promise.
So Tim, talk to me. Let the listeners know what you've been up to. That you've taken a month away from your duties and responsibilities here at the Career Seekers Show.
Right, and I have other duties and responsibilities elsewhere. I was running an internship program, or I should say helping to run, because it's never a one-person job. Running an internship program at my law firm, working to interview and recruit our next group of interns, and then also working on some of my projects for for Four Corners Coaching, which is my coaching company. Have a group coaching program coming out. I've started blogging again, which I have not done
So
for a
great.
long time. So I actually talked about dreams and visions today, thinking about the dreamers out there. I wrote a post about how to bring your current job in alignment with your career vision. And so thinking about some of the things that you might need to keep into consideration to make sure that your current job is also working for you, related to the career that you have for yourself and you see for yourself.
I think that's so important that people understand that you're investing in yourself every day that you walk in those doors.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you may work for a great company, and by the way, shout out to your organization because I saw one of your tweets, and you guys are the largest
Publicly traded water and wastewater utility. Yeah.
I was like, oh, we got a
It's not
big-
too shabby.
That's not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Yeah,
I
but
saw
so
that.
disclaimer: the anything expressed are my own personal perspectives and do not represent the views of my organization.
Listen,
We-
that's the right way to do it. That's
we
the right.
did not-
Until
did
we
not
are our
say-
own bosses, like Mr. Johnson over here, we
Yeah.
gotta.
bossing up. You know, speaking of bossing up, Philly, check for us on the East Coast Executive Facebook page. We're speaking a lot about the How to Land Your Dream Job workshop that will take place in Philly September 21st, courtesy of East Coast Executives. We want to do that thing at WeWork, 1601 Market Street. So there's information on the Facebook fan page about that. There's information on Twitter about that. We want to keep it coming. Believe it. We'll just keep pushing that information because we want you all to be there. Miss Watkins, good looking out. I saw you checked in yesterday and bought that ticket early. We got some
Nice.
early bird tickets and things of that nature, so I appreciate you. But information is on the website. Please check that out if you're in a position where you're looking for more. As Tiffany was speaking about, sometimes you're working in a position, but you're not investing in yourself, and this is just an investment in yourself. So with that being said, And we just do it for Philly. We did that shoot live from Dilworth Plaza yesterday. That was incredible. Yeah, beautiful day yesterday. Not so beautiful today.
The little, it's beautiful because we're alive to talk about it, right?
Mm.
But
Oh,
it
man,
is.
I love the way you
It
think.
is not it's not feeling great. The humidity did drop because I'm the humidity radar
I get ready to
for
say,
the
you know
show
how good
here,
humidity
and
work, right?
me and humidity, I do not play with it at all. So it's a little bit better than it was earlier. But you mentioned investing in yourself, Kenneth, and I just wanted to stay on that for a second. I think that there's a misconception that investment, when you're talking about your careers, has to happen only when you're ready to make a change. But you have to continually, even when you think that you're at the top, so to speak, you're never at the top because there's always something more that you can learn.
That's right.
And even thinking about myself, I'm going to a workshop later this month for my own personal development, and we all do those kinds of things. We have to continue to constantly learn and grow.
Always.
So even if you're comfortable and happy with your job, there's always something new happening in your industry, in your position, in the role that you play, that you should always be looking to learn a little bit more. So if your company can pay for it, or if you have to, find a little way to pay out of pocket, never be afraid to spend a little money on your own career development.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Always going to different, even networking events, meetups,
Absolutely.
etc. Yeah.
So speaking of career development, let's do it. It's probably about that time. We can speak about some of these resources and events that are going on around the city, around the region.
Okay.
AB, I guess we can start it up with you if you'd like.
We can.
So
All right.
let me know if you're ready to get into the mix here. Let's go.
Start in South Philly. Oh, I forgot about the music. You know what? I never knew there was
Only
music.
You gotta go to the beat, AB.
Only
You gotta
if
go
you
to
need
the
it
beat.
for the rhythm, then you go ahead and ride with us. Let's go. Start it up, AB.
All right, South Philly Library, Broughton Morris. We got Introduction to MS Word. This evening at 6 o'clock, we have, and speaking of the Dreamers, we have an English conversation circle, also tonight at 6:30. Introduction to Excel tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. That's Thursday, September 7th, 10 a.m. Open Computer Lab, both tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. and on Monday the 11th at noon. Then a resumes and jobs. Create a resume, bring in your own for critique, 6 p.m. on Monday, September 11th. Online learning, another Open Computer Lab. That South Philly location is huge and has so much going on there for anybody that's
I
looking
keep
for
saying
a
I'm
role.
going to make it down there.
I do too, and every time I drive by, I gotta stop in. I gotta stop driving by and just stop in.
Well, I'll tell you what, I guess the polar opposite of south is north, right?
There you go.
So let's go. North Philadelphia, I got you. All right, we're at 5th and Bristol, North Philadelphia, Career Link. So you have an interview. That'll take place September 7th from 9 o'clock to 10:30. Then they have the Microsoft Imagine Academy. That'll take place September 7th, 10 to 11:30, 5th and Bristol, North Philadelphia. Career Wardrobe is coming through there on September 7th at 10 o'clock as well. That'll take place from 10 to 11. Once again, we're talking about the Career Link, 4261 North 5th Street. That's 5th and Bristol. Then, what are transferable skills? That'll take place September 7th from 11 to noon. Then there's a computer class, Microsoft Excel. That's for beginners, though, September 7th, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. There's also another computer class taking place early in the morning, September 8th, 10 o'clock to 11:30. That's Microsoft Excel. That's the intermediate class right there. Then you can do Network to Find a Job on September 8th, 5th and Bristol, North Philadelphia. That takes place from 11 to 12. Everybody in North Philly, you might want to go through for that Microsoft Imagine Academy, September 8th from 1 to 2:30. And then to close it out in North Philly, Writing Effective Cover Letters will take place September 8th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. 5th and Bristol, once again, 4261 North 5th Street. Hold on, Guy, if you're going up 5th, what's that, a 47 or a 57? What is that?
57.
57? Yeah, that's 57 Bustle Shop you are right in front of there. All right.
So I gave Tiffany some job fairs that are coming up in probably about 2 weeks, but I thought it wouldn't be bad to
Get them on your calendar now. We have the Coast to Coast Career Fair that's happening on Monday, September 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, this has multiple employers. They will be at the fair, and they're looking to fill hundreds of local positions immediately.
You said hundreds?
Hundreds.
Like it.
Company recruiters will be attending the fair and talking to job seekers on a one-on-one basis. This is Monday, September 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Where? At the Courtyard by Marriott. That's Philadelphia. That's 4100 Presidential Boulevard. That sounds like that's up on City Line Avenue, right? All right.
Yeah.
So that's again Monday, September 18th. On Wednesday, September 20th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Philadelphia on Packer Avenue, we have the National Career Fair. This is a live hiring event.
South Philly.
Live hiring event. This event is free to all job seekers. Career seekers are encouraged to dress professionally and bring multiple copies of their resume. That's Wednesday, September 20th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And last but certainly not least, there's the Monster Career Fair that is happening on the on Temple's campus at the Howard Gittes Student Center.
So, Tim,
yes,
real
sir.
quick, is that Monster like the website?
It's at
Yeah.
Philly.com,
Yeah.
Monster
Oh,
Career
wow.
Fair.
Okay.
And these are looking for employers in healthcare, IT, financial, sales, customer service, industrial, government, transportation, and other fields, expecting over 60 employers and institutions. This is going to be, again, on Temple's campus at 1755 North 13th Street on Thursday, September 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So check that out. And those are the job fairs that we have.
Yeah, those are big ones.
These are big
Easy
ones.
to get to, and we'll
talk
repeat
about
it.
them again next week
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
All right, well, let me take it to Northwest Philly
Go
real
for
quick.
it, yep.
All right, Northwest Philadelphia. That's Germantown, Price Streets. Here we go. It's the Welcome to PA Career Link orientation that takes place September 7th from 9 to 10. You got the computer class, Microsoft Word for beginners, September 7th, 9:30 to 11:30. The do's and don'ts of resumes takes place September 7th from 10:30 to 12:15. Once again, it's the Career Link, Germantown, Price Street. That's Northwest Philadelphia. Entrepreneurial Workshop. They're going to have a guest speaker there September 7th from 1 to 3 o'clock. And then on September 7th, also from 2 to 3. It's a busy day out there. Diversity in the workplace. I think we should be doing that training. We should be doing that training. All right, so let's bring it back. Navigating Job Gateway. That's from 9 to 10 o'clock, September 8th. Then we have a computer class, keyboarding, September 8th, 9:30 to 11:30. Conflict resolution. That will take place September 8th from 10 to noon. And then writing effective cover letters, September 8th, 10:30 to 11:30. What are transferable skills? That takes place September 8th, 1:30 to 2:30. And that does it for Northwest Philadelphia. So, with that being said, Northwest Philly is taking, we got you. All right? So, I'm going to hand it over to Alberta Bertolino. You got some more stuff?
I do. Thanks
do
to Kenneth, who noticed this great organization. I had no idea that Goodwill, where we donate a lot of our items to, they also have training centers for people with physical, mental disabilities or experiencing any kind of disadvantaged conditions. So there are there are 4 in South Jersey and 2 here in Philly. I had no idea. I know that there's the Goodwill. You see it when you're driving on 95 or on Delaware Avenue, right? So it's probably 7th and Callow Hill, so right up the street from us here. There's one at 3509 Spring Garden Street. Then we have Maple Shade, 2 in Pennsauken,
New Jersey.
and 1 in Stratford. So they offer job training skills. They have computer skills, computer literacy programs, management and training, forklift certification, CDL training, school to work programs, ex-offender reentry, which we've been talking a lot about, job coaching and placement. So just check it out, goodwill.org.
Oh, well, that's incredible. Hey, Alberta, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a great segue for me because I had seen something that you put out on your social media feed. If you're not following at Alberta Recruits, you are making a humongous mistake. You had something on your social media feeds about a gentleman, the Wolf of Wall Street, I believe, and they have a website for ex-offenders. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know what, I can. So everyone knows the movie that came out a couple years ago, and I'm sorry that I forgot the gentleman's name, but so when he finally was released from prison, obviously, felony, and had a hard time finding any kind of jobs. No one wanted to touch him.
Especially when they do a movie about
it, right? Yeah.
They become a poster child
exactly.
in some ways.
They knew too much about him. So what he decided to do was create a website and has been partnering with big companies and trying to get the word out that these job boards can help ex-offenders. And all over the U.S. He's going to hopefully go global eventually. So we can put more information out. He hasn't launched it yet. He's still doing partnerships, but I can bring back.
Yeah,
more
we'll share the
information
post.
about
Let's share the post
See,
with the listeners so they can.
and I knew it too. You know what? You call me out on stuff that I'm not ready
No,
for.
you
But you're ready.
answered
So I know.
You answered it perfectly.
You're
but,
right, I know.
but I see. I follow some
I
of the
love it.
stuff.
No, I love it. Yeah,
I follow some of the stuff that you post because I know it's coming from a very, very reliable source.
Gotcha.
And when you know it comes from a reliable source, I'm sure you've looked at it, probably kind of glimpsed over it. So you catch me often because I don't post all of my stuff. But I try to at least look through, and sometimes I'm just looking at headlines. But when I saw that, I'm like, man, I can't wait to speak to Alberta about it, even in private or personally.
Yeah.
But I said we just bring it to the show. So speaking of that, at Tiff South.
Yeah.
So we're speaking about social media and following each other on social media. But I thought it would be a good day to speak about social media influencers because our guest today, Toni Howard Lowe, is great at social media. She's the one. Well, she's one of the people. Her and our our career and health person talked me into starting an Instagram page for East Coast Executives. So between the two of them, it's happened.
Good.
But I had promised Toni that I would do it over the weekend.
Okay.
So she had me working this weekend. But she's really active on social media. She produces some excellent content. That's kind of how we came across one another's paths. So I just wanted to speak to you guys about if you have a top five social influencer from the job search and career category. If you have a top five. So I thought we could kind of bounce some things around. I think we probably have some similar people on our top fives. I don't know if you're prepared to have that conversation.
Of course.
But I know you're always prepared. That's how you became so incredible. So with that being said, let's start this out. Who's your top five? Talk to me, Tim.
Let's do one. Let's do one, and then we'll go around.
I don't know
She's like, don't put all the spotlight
No,
on me.
right.
that's
And then
fine.
we're
So
gonna do it that way.
are we doing our number one or just one?
Just one.
Okay,
And
just
then,
one.
and then is this people or like the
So
muse?
that was gonna
for
be my
instance.
next.
Oh,
That was gonna be
you know
my
what I
next
mean?
question. Is
Nah,
this like
it's
accounts
people.
or
People, it's
people?
individuals.
People.
Okay.
Next week,
I
next
hear you.
week we'll come back with the top 5 sites. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Like
That's
where
cool.
we get our information from.
So I got so I follow a woman by the name of forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. It's Vinica von Rosen. She
Okay.
is at LinkedIn Expert, and she has a company that basically focuses on how to maximize your LinkedIn profile and your LinkedIn pages. And what I like about her page is that it's very practical. Like she shares a lot of other people's stuff. She shares the resources from her own company, but it's like it's tangible things. It's not just like, oh, LinkedIn is a good place to be. It's like, well, how do I maximize using my LinkedIn page? So at LinkedIn Expert on Twitter, which is like, how do you get so lucky to get that handle, right?
Wow.
Like so
Seriously.
she must have had it
She
for
had
a
it
long
early.
time.
Yeah,
So she
yeah.
got it early.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's one of my top influencers.
Yeah.
What's her name again? I'm sorry.
At LinkedIn Expert.
At
Her
LinkedIn
name is Vinica von Rosen.
We
Forgive me if I'm
might need to
Yeah.
call her.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So Adam Karpiak, I don't know if you guys have seen him, Karpiak. So not only does he post these really great examples of his everyday and what's been going on, so he writes about any behavioral things that happen. He just posted something called Good Cop, Bad Cop about third-party recruiters and how some of them just want to
Okay.
coddle you and hold your hand, but then other people are so nasty about your resumes and whatnot and how to find the right person.
I probably fall in the middle.
No, you're never nasty. I'm not even. You don't even cross that line. But Adam
Money
Karpiak,
on the
he's
line,
great.
AB.
There
Money
you
on the
go.
line, yeah.
Then one of the things that I love that he does, he has his candidate of the week.
Oh,
And
nice.
sometimes it's a candidate of the day.
Okay.
And then he knows somebody and he links to them on LinkedIn
Okay.
and puts it out there. This is what the person's doing. It's not even necessarily his candidate. It could
Yeah.
be just people
Sure.
he knows, and he even asks for people that are following him, hey, if you know somebody that's looking for a job, let me know and I'll
Yeah.
put it out
Oh,
there.
that's awesome.
Yeah, Adam
Adam,
Karpiak,
I love it.
Karpiak.
That's
Okay.
using social media for good right there.
Yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah.
There's a lady that I follow, and I honestly have to say I find her to be incredible. That's JT O'Donnell, at JT O'Donnell, I believe on Twitter. But she had a site called Careerlism, and then she's changed that to Work It Daily, I believe. But I've had the opportunity to work with her in the past. I met her at the Job Mobile Summit in New York City several years ago, and I just continue to follow her because I think she has some very interesting content. And I don't even know if you guys recently saw her. She had mentioned that resume writers, she got beef with resume writers right now.
Oh.
No, we're speaking hip hop today, so yeah, what's beef? She got beef with resume writers, right? And they were coming at her all on social media because she was basically saying that you shouldn't hire them. And she has an interesting reason why. There's a video out there. I believe we shared that video on the East Coast Executives Facebook page, but she has a very interesting reason why, but I have a lot of respect for her for taking a stance. I'm a resume writer. I think there is some value, but I do believe everybody should have their own opinion on things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, that's what makes us,
said,
the three of us, how we exchange things.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then Will disagrees with everything.
Yeah,
that we
Will
say.
just
Always just
The silent disagreeer over there. Will.
All right, let's keep moving. Number 2, Tiff.
So number 2 is a woman who I have come into contact with through a mutual friend of ours. Her name is Minda Hartz, and she runs an organization called Weekly, the Memo, basically. And so it's an organization designed for women of color to improve their positions, their comfort, their status, their skills in corporate America.
Excellent.
And she launched it full time. She has a lot of things coming up in the next couple coming months to make it just a strong digital platform for women of color who are in corporate America. And that's Minda Hartz, Harts, and she's excellent. And hopefully she'll be a guest on the podcast coming up soon.
Sure, yeah.
We might be able to have her on the show as well.
Yeah, definitely. That would be awesome. Yeah. So Abby Kohut, which I didn't know this, but
absolutely
Abby, right? But did you know it was named among the top 25 women to follow on Twitter for your job search? I didn't know that.
Really?
So I have been following her for a while. Yeah.
You know what? So let me jump in here. So Abby's the one that introduced me to Red Robin Burgers.
Oh my gosh.
Me and Abby were out in Langhorn.
We never had a Red Robin burger.
Abby and I were out in Langhorn, and she would not let me take her anywhere else.
Oh wow.
Yeah, absolutely. She was on.
Of course. The world's #1 diversity recruiter knows.
Yeah. There's pictures of me and Abby out there at the Red Robin out in Langhorn. Yeah, it was crazy. Is that where Sesame Place is?
Yeah.
Wherever the one by Sesame Place is.
Yeah.
So we were out there. Yeah, Abby's great. She was my second one. I was going to say her.
Oh
so
my
Tiff,
gosh.
we'll go to you.
All right. Now you see you got me over here. So there's someone else named Jobs. Her Twitter handle is Job Search Amanda.
Okay.
And she has a top. I think her company is Top Resumes or something similar to that. But she, again, practical advice, a lot of resources, not just her own. Shares a lot of information for other people, and is a really good resource for people if you're looking for advice about resumes. Because the advice about resumes is changing, and people you have to be aware of what's good and what's not, and how to sift through that information. And she's a good resource. So at Job Search Amanda.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's changing, and in the same case, read different things about resumes.
Right,
Because
exactly.
it's not all one size fits
not all
all.
one size fits all.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So this is crazy, and Elon Musk, I hope everyone knows who that is, CEO and tech innovator, SpaceX, Solar City, Tesla. But
just a few of the things he's worked on.
Little tiny stuff. But I've been following him a while too. He posts a lot of good content himself, so he finds other leaders that he follows and posts about them on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So Elon and Musk, MUSK.
So my third person will be Hannah Morgan. I'm coming off the top. I'm kind of mad that I don't have this
Career
listed.
Sherpa.
Career Sherpa at Career Sherpa. Hannah is outstanding. She produces some incredible content. If you're not following her, I do suggest you do. Hannah Hannah Morgan at Career Sherpa. All right, let's do it.
And I have Mark Miller, and this at Career Pivot, and he specializes in. He calls himself a career designer for baby boomers.
I've seen his stuff.
I listened to an interview with him on the Paychecks and Balances podcast. Shout out to Rich and Marcus.
Yeah.
He talked about the generational differences and how we spend there's a lot of literature out there, a lot of conversation about the differences between baby boomers and millennials, but also talking about how similar we are, and so how to learn to speak across the generations. Great resource for people who you feel like you're trying to change careers after you've been in the workforce for a long time, or trying to restart your career. At Career Pivot, and that's Mark Miller.
Okay, love it. So we'll get into other sites next week, but the founder of the Muse, which is a site that we tweet about, and bless you, Ken.
Thank you.
Catherine Minshew. So she posts a lot of really good job search, career advice. She writes on the Muse. She's been able to find really great people on that site. So, and that's usually for millennials, but has excellent information for the other demographics.
So I got to give a shout out for my next person. It's my man Torin Ellis at Torin Ellis, TORINELLIS, author of Rip the Resume, winner of the top recruiter, I believe, 2015. But Torin is a friend of the Career Seekers family, East Coast executives. I've had Torin Skype in and do sessions for me with some of my classes, but he's an unbelievable follow on social media. So Torin Ellis at Torin Ellis. All right, AB, we're moving it back around, so we're gonna go this way.
Okay.
So do you have another person? You have a fifth?
So it's 4:30.
I know it's 4:30.
Okay,
Yep,
just want to make sure that we're
that's right.
time.
We're gonna swing
All
through.
right, you know if you saw it. Yeah. So Randy Zuckerberg, and yeah, that's who you think it is. She is related to Mark. It's his sister. She has a .complicated, and she posts a lot about how to manage your social media, how to build your personal brand out on social media. So Randy's with an I, and then Zuckerberg. So look her up. Definitely worth a read.
Give us your fifth too if you have it. We'll just run through.
No, Hannah Morgan was my
Hannah
fifth.
Morgan. Okay,
actually.
great. Tiff, you got a fourth and fifth? By any
Do I
chance?
have a fourth and fifth? I always have a fourth and fifth. Dr. Sylvia LaFair.
Yeah,
We had Dr. LaFair on our show a couple months ago, one of our first guests. And what I like about her is that she talks about the interplay between the emotional and the career development. That's like a real soft spot for me because that's kind of where I find myself. And she is at Sylvia LaFair on Twitter, and she's a great resource.
And she retweets us all the time, so shout out to you, Sylvia. Thank you.
Thank you. And then, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have a fifth too. That's me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a fifth yet.
All right, so at KL Johnson
There's
Info.
just so much good content
Right.
out there.
At Tip South, at Alberta Recruits.
But you know what?
at
I
KL
do have a legit fifth though. Liz Ryan. Liz writes for Inc. And she has some of the most unbelievable articles that you'll ever read on job and career search. And the interesting thing about Liz, her artwork that she submits with her articles is her work. She does the artwork. So check her out. Yeah, Liz Ryan, check her out.
Okay.
It's the Career Seekers Show. We'll be back after the break. Tony Howard Lowe from the Corporate T. Let's get it.